Okay. Hello, everyone on Twitch and or YouTube. Let's do some coding. I gotta be honest with you. I haven't slept since the night before last. I pulled an all-nighter. I just moved to Philly and I found four 24-hour restaurants, all of which I visited in the last couple of days, last 3 days, I think. So I've been having a great time, but I haven't been sleeping. So this is going to be a very chill, very chaotic energy but mild vibes, or vice versa, stream. I also haven't set my office yet up up yet. I don't have my standing desk, my monitors, and other connections for Twitch aren't hooked up. So I've got Stream Manager on the phone, OBS sharing on the PC. My mic may or may not be the correct volume. Let's crank that stuff up. All right. Crank that on the floor. Okay. Today I'm going to be working on this fun little project that I've been playing around with, template TypeScript node package. GitHub has this cool templates feature where you can uh, make a repo that can then be used. I actually don't know on GitHub. GitHub see where template is used. There is a way to do that. Ooh, there we go. Search by okay. There's no real way to do it. But I did make one repo based off this template already, actually. If you go to repositories on my GitHub, TS function inliner. Cool. So I'm going to tweet about this with the links and I'll post them in the stream chat. Repo is here. That's the template repo. It's a very basic repo for a TypeScript package built on Node.js that has all the fancy CI things like linting and formatting and auto publishing that I ever want. Example usage, boop. So let me just go ahead and put those in the chat. That's my OBS. That's my stream manager. Boop. And boop. There's a way to pop out chat, right? Oh my god, look at that. Lack of mobile responsiveness on Twitch. Very good. Very good. Chat appearance. Can you pop it out? I swear I used to know how to... There we go. I'll just keep that on the side over there for a while. All right. Cool beans. So, one of the problems with having a template TypeScript node package in today's world is that there are always a million bajillion things you want to do with it. In fact, that's not even specific to TypeScript. That is every GitHub repo in every language could have a bajillion cool CI, continuous integration, and continuous deployment setups added to it. And just to give you an idea of the things that I've added to this repo, if we look at, let's say, a PR that adds some more text to the README, and we look at all the checks that get run. Here we go. Post that in the chat. We have a whole bunch of things. We have compliance, which is this GitHub compliance action that I think so far it's just configured to check that the title matches the commitment format and that the PR body refers to an issue that it closes. So that's not the most exciting, but it's a nice little paperwork thing. We have lint spelling, lint markdown. Wait, where's lint? Am I not running lint in CI? That's not good. Well, lint spelling, spelling.yaml, uses this library called cspell that finds typos, which is really useful if you have documentation in your library, which you should most of the time. Similarly, I have a markdown linter, which checks for things like basic markdown accessibility. So that's nice. We just gotta go ahead and code template TypeScript node package. I'm realizing I might not have like lint. I don't have lint in there. So normally I run ESLint, the standard JavaScript linter, but this thing is not running ESLint. So I guess my first thing will be to add tooling, run ESLint in CI. There are other linters spelling markdown in CI, but not ESLint. that's going to be the first thing I fix today. All right. First up, let me just go ahead and tell the Twitters. First up, I forgot to set ESLint to run in CI. That to me is death. I am death, as these say. Okay, so let's look at what it takes to get something running in CI. Let's say prettier. Now, prettier is configured in a pretty standard way in this repo. We have a .github/workflows/prettier.yaml workflow named prettier. It says whenever you push to the main branch or have a pull request, we're going to run these jobs. There was one job to run. It is the prettier job. It runs on whatever the latest version of Ubuntu is. And the steps are, first, check out the repo, do this GitHub Actions Prepare script, which is a thing that prepares the repo. It's got other uses to run. And then we run a command. This prepare thing. Oh, interesting. Prepare runs checkout. I don't think we need to do that twice. I think that's a duplicate shenanigan. Let me remove that. Actions checkout v3. Huh. Okie dokie. Anyway, we set up node 18 with the yarn cache. We run yarn install and bash, and then we run whatever the command is here. So the prepare, all it does is set up the node version, set up yarn caching, and then yarn install. Good stuff. So if I want to make another version of this, let's call it ESLint, or just lints.yaml. Name lints, jobs lints. We do yarn lint. Same thing between prettier on the left, the old one, lints.yaml on the right. Let's get you out of there. When we run yarn lints on the command line, I don't know if you can see it easily, but it runs whatever the lint script is in package.json, which is running ESLint. I just realized I'm not on the main branch, so I'm gonna git stash, git checkout main, git pull, git stash pop. All right. Let's make a new branch for lint YAML. Sure, add lint.yaml to run ESLint in CI. All right, I have made the branch, made the commit, so now I can git push origin lint YAML to make a pull request. This is kind of my normal flow these days for working on my own projects. Whenever I see something wrong, I file an issue, assign it to myself, make a branch, make a commit, push that branch up to GitHub, and here we go. Let me just move this window around. I want to have the chat visible. When I have my OBS set up, it normally is. There we go. All right. So it does address an open issue. It fixes the issue that we weren't running ESLint. Copies prettier.yaml to a new one that runs ESLint. Also removes a duplicate actions checkout v3 from the prepare script. I think it's not needed. Let's see what happens. Here we go. Eek. Pure. Also, cat tax. I have a cat looking up at me, so I'm just gonna go ahead and show you. This is Jerry. Jerry is a dingus. He's very dumb, but he's very sweet. We also think he has ADHD like me because he's constantly moving around and can't stay still. It's actually kind of endearing. Let's look at those checks. We see they're still running. Ooh, a bunch of them have passed. Lint passed. Yay! Oops. Okay. So let me just open the checks. go to lint, check the command output. Jerry's gonna have to go somewhere else. Bye, Jerry. That cat amuses me greatly. All right, 3 1/3 seconds to run ESLint, and we're good to go. That it was relatively painless. Squash and merge. Yay! Git checkout main, git pull. Let's delete some old branches. YAML. I got some old ones here. Yeah, whatever. All right. Let's look at other issues in the repo. There are a bunch here. Some are assigned to me, some are not. If any of you are watching and want to take one, feel free to go to the repo and look for ones that are accepting PRs and not assigned to me. Excuse me. One that's gotten me kind of excited is tooling add unused code detection. There is a small class of tools that have started to pop up that are kind of like a linter. I guess some of them are implemented as ESLint plugins, but they detect unused code. In Webpack, there was an unused file module. I forget exactly what it was called, but it would find files that were included in your directory, checked into your source code, in a way that Webpack could import or include, but were never actually referenced by any of your other files. And there are a couple of good libraries in TypeScript land that do that. I'm going to use my old favorite, tsprune. It's a good library. tsprune finds unused exports, meaning it looks at a TypeScript project and it finds any value or type or construct, something exported from a file that's never actually imported by any other file, which is really useful if you have a larger project and you refactor some code so that some utilities maybe or actually large pieces of logic are exported from some files so they're not unused variables locally, but the rest of the project never actually uses them. I like this a lot. Let me go ahead and post in the chat. Tooling unused code. Next, finding unused code automatically. Okie dokie. So I'm on Yarn. I'm gonna Yarn add tsprune. There you go. And in my package, I'm gonna add a lint prune. LMNOP. tsprune. Let's see what happens if I just run tsprune on its own. All right, so it finds two things. It finds index.ts3 and index.ts1. Source index.ts greet. That is not the right line number. That says line number 3. This is a bug in tsprune. That's great. But it's also not failing, I think. It says done, doesn't fail. Okay. Aha. So I want a config option that tells it to error if unused exports are found, which is the -- error flag. So I do yarn lin prune -- error and then rerun yarn lin prune. There we go. So now it's failing because it sees that index.ts exports greet and greet options, but they are never actually used by anything. And I get it. The greet function is exported on line 3 of greet.ts, which is then what gets logged in index.ts, even though it's no longer line 3. That's funny. It type says line 1 for greet options. Yes. Isn't that fun? All right, so there's got to be a way to tell tsprune that some file is like the root entry point, like it's it's fine to have stuff exported from. And ooh, here we go. Dash dash skip these files when determining whether code is used. So I'm gonna dash dash. Oh, you can have a TS prune RC. I'm gonna make that touch TS prune RC error true, and then skip source index TS. Let's see what happens. Yarn lints prune. Nice. Passes with no complaints, but I should make sure that it does fail when it should, so I'm going to add an unused type explicitly to source types TS. There we go. Look at that. Unused WAT. I like this. All right. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to check out a TS prune branch. Oops, git checkout BTS prune. I'm going to include this unfortunate, intentionally unused to break build. Fortunate little fella there. I don't document anything, do I? Just make sure there's nowhere development or whatever that I have to mention what these things do. Okay. And then this will fail the build on the PR until I fix it, which will be a good demonstration to make sure that this does actually break the build in CI. One thing that I've seen a lot of in the wild is people will add a nice tool, fix all the failures, and push a pull request up that adds the tool. But then they won't validate that when they're messing around with the configs, they don't break the tool running in the first place. I actually did this once at work at Codecademy. I converted a bunch of test files from JavaScript to TypeScript as part of a bigger company push to do that. But I'd never actually validated that the test runner, I think this was Cypress at the time, or maybe Test Cafe, was capable of running TypeScript test files. Like it had been like set up maybe vaguely to be able to, but like we didn't do enough, so it never actually ran them. So that was unfortunate. And of course, CI passed because I just removed a bunch of tests. CI was faster and they weren't going to fail anymore. So that was unfortunate. So always make sure when you're adding some sort of CI thing, some sort of task to run in continuous integration on pull request commits, make sure it's going to fail if it should. Add TS prune to CI. Alrighty. PR checklist addresses an existing issue. That is number 45 right there. By the way, I keep forgetting to mention this, but anyone who's here, first of all, thank you for watching, whether you're live or recorded or whatever. Second of all, I am always down to chat with folks. Please, if you have anything you want to talk about, any questions to ask, any development gripes, Twitter drama to gush over, feel free to ask. Feel free to chat. I'm perfectly happy to just code on my own, but, you know, who wants to be lonely? All right. Adds a lints prune command that runs TS prune. Yay. I hate how there's that little gap in time, that split second, sometimes up to a second or two, where GitHub doesn't yet know there's a check, so there's just no complaints. And the UI has the green merge button. Silly. On the other hand, I love how fast GitHub Actions are. Like, this compliance one took 2 seconds. These other ones that are doing caching and stuff, they're going to take a little longer because they have to rebuild the yarn cache. But in the last PR, it was 3 to 5 seconds each. Like, really, up to 10 seconds at most. Like, really not that long. Here we go. Now they're coming in. Beautiful. I think there's got to be some kind of equation to say what a tolerable build time is for a project based off of like how many developers are working on it and or how many lines of code. Like maybe the square root of the number of developers is how many seconds is okay to wait for a build. Something like that. I don't know. But like on a or like plus 5 seconds on a project with just me, a small project, I don't want to wait a minute for builds to pass. That's silly. All right. I just realized I merged it before posting to Twitter. Silly. Merged already. Cool. I am just blazing through these. This is great. Having a great time over here. Lonely and sad, of course. But there are a few good things I could go to next. I kind of want to do JSON linting. So I'm weird, and I like sorting everything, and I mean everything. Um, I find it a lot easier to read through stuff when it's neat and orderly. You have a question. Welcome. Feel free to ask. Please. Please ask, I should say. I would like it very much if you did. Ooh, losing my mind way too long on a stupid beginner method. This is going to be juicy. We have all lost our mind for way too long on a stupid beginner method. Like the story I told 5 minutes ago about how I stopped a whole bunch of tests from running at work because I didn't check that this slight change I was making didn't just stop them from running. Good times. Ooh, pardon me. I'm so excited about this question. I never know like what the etiquette is for Twitch though. Like because there's this delay and then people have to type stuff out. Like, do I just wait here awkwardly or do I like go forward and then like interrupt you? I don't want to be offensive or mean or intrusive, but I also don't want to have dead air. Um, I'll just go ahead and I'll just keep going with the my explanation, and then I'll switch to yours once it's done. I really like sorting keys, sorting objects, sorting imports, sorting everything because I find it hard to read through stuff and remember where things are unless there's a nice orderly system. I know this is like a neurodiversity thing for some. For me, it's just I think it's better to have order where you can, where it doesn't cost a lot to enforce the order, which is why I use things like ESLint plugin simple import sort. Where if I were to, let's say, if I were to mess up the order of my imports, if I were to have them in not alphabetical order, I have this nice auto fix that fixes it for me. So there's actually an ESLint plugin sort keys, something like that. ESLint plugin TypeScript sort keys. It's ESLint plugin sort keys, but it supports TypeScript. Also, Prodan or to this question. I'm sorry if that comes across as sarcastic. I promise I'm not trying to. I am looking forward to it. So actually so I'm actually gonna add a separate issue because I didn't file it before of onboard ESLint plugin TypeScript sort keys, which is similar to the JSON linting one. Specific sub request that I'll have to order package JSON fields alphabetically, but this is for all TypeScript code. So you know what, I'm gonna do that actually. Let's tweet that next. Making all my things, all my keys sorted like an orderly maniac. My favorite emojis, sign of the horns. Horns. Come on, I hate the Mac emoji picker. It's not good. Getting in my way. Fun fact, this sign, the emoji you see on the screen, is a sign of the horns, like the devil, and that's where rockers like doing that sign comes from. Because it's the sign of the devil. I don't remember if it was like a parody of people thinking rock was satanic or just like a thing people did naturally, but I always thought that was really funny. All right, issues 49, and then ESLint plugin, TypeScript sort keys. This pull request will be a good demonstration of how to onboard a new ESLint plugin. Oh boy, I need to make a function called all evens as part of this online Udemy course I'm doing. Okay, awesome. I don't know why my function. You know what? I didn't sleep last night. I got nothing better to do. Paste that sucker in. Show me the code and I will look at it and walk through it with you for a bit. Very excited. Let's do this. Where's my sign of the horns emoji? Devil. I love it. All right. Function all evens array away to every number mod 2 is triple equal. Ooh, that looks good to me. Function all evens array dot. Aha! I see it. Your code is almost correct. Oh, and alternately, you also like this syntax a little more when we do array function num. Are you saying this is a little more readable? If so, I can see an argument in that favor. I personally like arrows, but I think they actually are a little less readable in some cases. But yeah, either way. I'm curious if you're like a Ruby programmer by any chance. If you're like learning JavaScript as your first language, or if you learned another language before. Because when you have a function, the function does not automatically return whatever the last statement is. If we were to do const result equals all evens, say whatever 1 2, and console log my result is result, we would get undefined. Just gonna open up a node terminal. That's too much zoom. Paste that in. And the reason why we get my result is undefined is that we're never actually returning this line. So if you were to add a return statement here and run it again, ooh, I guess restart node, run it again, then you would get. So your code is actually so close to being correct. Number mod 2 triple equals 0, that's great. And I like that you use .every. That's good. What some people will do is they'll do like a longer loop where they'll be like function all evens 2, then like for let I equals 0, I less array dot length, I plus plus, whatever, if array I mod 2 not equals 0, return false. Like this is another way of writing the same thing. But your way is just so much cleaner. Like you did good. So yay. This is just like easier to read. So yay. I hope that helps. Let me know if not. Boop. I don't normally just give people the answer like when they ask questions. I think normally in most cases it's generally better for teaching to guide people to it, but Twitch is not a very conducive medium to interactive mentoring or help. So hope that helps. Anyway, context switching back over to ESLint. ESLint plugin TypeScript sort keys. The way ESLint works is you have a whole bunch of rules that run in your code. ESLint comes with rules, and you can also add rules from other places. Each rule looks through your code for a very specific bad, whatever that bad may be, like unused variables or violations of your naming conventions or whatever. And it tells ESLint to give you complaints if it finds any instances of those bad. Oh yeah, it worked. Pardon my excitement. Oh yeah, reading and figuring out why that's always a hard thing. But good. I'm glad it's working. So what I'm doing in this config file already, eslintrc.cjs. My pleasure. You're welcome. And anyone else has any questions on this, on the stuff I'm doing, on anything, feel free to ask. You, anyone else. In this existing ESLint config, I'm saying in addition to extending the recommended rules from ESLint, so this extend says give me a bunch of settings so I don't have to type them out manually myself. I'm taking in the recommended rules for TypeScript, the TypeScript ESLint config, recommended rules that require type checking, which is a feature of TypeScript ESLint, the tooling that lets ESLint run in TypeScript code. That takes longer but gives you more powerful rules. And I also just want the really strict rules, the ones that'll just yell at me incessantly over things that are probably issues. And then plugins are where these come from. So I'm using the TypeScript ESLint plugin. That's what gives me these TypeScript ESLint recommended rule sets. Plugin makes things available, extends says to use them. I'm also using simple import sort. And I want to add, wait, did I tweet this? Yes, I did. I want to add ESLint plugin TypeScript sort keys. Where is it? Fun fact, when you say extends in the ESLint plugins list, or pardon, when you say plugins, you don't need to say ESLint dash plugin dash. When I see function, I know exactly what it means. I will wait till you finish typing. All right, so now I'm saying give me the ESLint plugin TypeScript sort keys package, which I need to yarn add D. I needed to yarn add the D. VisualBasic.net. I have never used it, but I have heard of it. I'm told that some people are really into it and some people are really not into it. So that's the whole thing. All right. So use the plugin TypeScript keys, and they have here we go, a recommended rule set that I can extend from. Plugin TypeScript sort keys recommended. Awesome. All right, so I'm gonna plug in TypeScript sort keys recommended. Now if I do yarn lints, which is going to run ESLints, it should include the rules from TypeScript sort keys that make sure that my objects have sorted keys, which I'm now realizing I never actually defined what sorted keys means. I mean, like in any object or interface or whatever. Oh, hang on a second. Oh no. I messed up. In my... Wait, is this still... Did I merge the prune... Oh my god. Oh no. Oh no. I merged... It didn't break the... Oh my god, I was just saying this. Why isn't... Oh my god. I forgot to remove the intentionally unused to break build thing. So I bet you the build is failing on the main commit. No? What? How is that? Rune? I'm so confused. How is that passing? Well, whatever. Anyway, if I have things out of order, like the keys in an interface, this new lint rule will yell at me. Expected interface keys to be in ascending order. Logger should be before message. And if I run yarn lint dash dash fix, or if I restart ESLint in my editor, I should, there we go. I run quick fix here, I can auto fix it. Now it's all fixed. Yay. All right. So now I should have, let me switch to my main branch, get pull, get checkout B, get stash pop. If I get checkout dash B, what should I call this branch? Sort keys, or ESLint plugin TypeScript sort keys. Sure, add ESLint plugin TypeScript sort keys. Now I will have via ESLint enforcement that all my keys are sorted. Git push u origin ESLint plugin TypeScript sort keys. Awesome. So this fixes the PR, or pardon me, the issue 49. That's 7 squared. I used to be really into Halo. Halo fans will understand why that's relevant. All right. No existing issues. Yay. So, taking my own advice, I should demonstrate that if I add this, uh, then there should be a failure. So, if I make a commit, save without formatting, I have fix on save enabled. So, git commit intentional failure. So now that I have this angry complaint, this intentional failure should fail the build on the lint task. Look how fast this runs. So speedy. Less speedy than I want. There's got to be a way to make this faster. Took 7 seconds. Aha! Here we go. I added an intentional failure. And oh, let me link this PR here. Now lint is failing. Good. So if I fix, I hit save, fix intentional failure, git push. So now in whatever, 10 seconds, this should, GitHub, it should be a green check. So just to recap, I added an ESLint plugin that gives me rules that make sure my keys are sorted, like interface keys, object keys, etc. They're all sorted alphabetically. And I'm just making sure that it's validated in pull request builds. I'm going kind of fast because I got a lot of things I want to do, and because I didn't sleep last night, so my mind is kind of fuzzy. I keep like jumping in and out of full consciousness. This is coffee. So let me know if I'm going too fast for you. I apologize if I am. I know that I'm going over a lot of stuff, and if you haven't done this stuff before, like what is a TypeScript, what is an interface, it might be a little too fast. So sorry. But anyway, all right. Git checkout main, git pull. So I added TS prune, which is supposed to flag that this is this type of unused thing, something that's exported from a file but never actually used. That should fail the build. But I forgot to add a workflow to run lint TS prune. So let me. I'm just gonna mince prune. TypeScript, not like JavaScript at all. Yeah. I don't know, once in a while. So fun fact, TypeScript best practice has kind of changed over the years. It used to be a lot of people, myself included, recommended always declaring the value types of things like let my name string equals Josh. Nowadays the best practice is to just let TypeScript infer things. Like these are both totally valid TypeScript, but I would say this one is oftentimes more, I don't know, preferred. It's very strict with parsing variables, whereas using double equal as opposed to triple equals in JavaScript is very convenient. I'm not sure what you mean by that. TypeScript doesn't change the behavior of double versus triple equals. It just lets you know if you're doing something weird. But I might be misunderstanding you. Apologies if I am. Oh shoot, I hit the shortcut to quit. Am I right? Okay. Okay, so yeah, I forgot to add a prune.yaml to run ts prune in CIs. Check out prune YAML. Chore add missing prune.yaml workflow. So I had added a script to run tsprune on demand, like a package JSON script you can do. But I never actually called it in CI. Whoops, forgot to add this as part of. This was number 48, the issue. Templates, pull /48. Yep, which resolved issue 45. So 45 is actually still open. Oops, I never added a brew.yaml workflow. I did not take my own advice. So fix is number 45. Great pull request, posting in the chat. Oh, and I forgot to post that PR on Twitter too. Oops, I forgot to add tsprune to CI. Lol. And let's add it here. Just finding my links. Love me some keyboard shortcuts. All right, here we go. Good. So this is the advice I was saying earlier and then did not take myself because I'm silly. Make sure if you add something to CI that's supposed to catch an error, that it actually can catch an instance of that thing. Error, bad code, arguably bad code, potentially bad code, poorly named code, undocumented code, whatever you're trying to catch. This thing should catch it. And yay, it did. Which means now I can go and delete the thing. Git add all, git remove the thing. I have such good commit messages. I am a developer. I am professional. Yeah. Oops, wrong shortcut. Okay. Anyway, while this is running, this would be a good time to plug my book, learningtypescript.com. I wrote a book on TypeScript. So if you want to learn the language and you know JavaScript and maybe nothing else, this is the book for you. Jazz hands. Okay. Are my builds done yet? All right, let's prune. It's done. Just these other things are running. Yay. Good stuff. Squashed and merged. Should I tweet this? All right. There we go. Cool. So the the thing that originally reminded me I wanted to add this was JSON linting. I would like to sort fields in my package JSON. And in general, I want to say I remember seeing somewhere that there's some kind of like ESLint plugin for your package JSON, or maybe just like a package JSON lint. So I'm just going to look this up. npm package JSONlint.org. So formal. Configurable linter for package. This is so excessive. It's one file. I guess for mono repos it's multiple. All right, thank you, Thomas Lindner. All right. So just quickly looking through this. What is npm package JSON lint? I'm gonna post that in the chat. Did I mention this anywhere? I can't tell if there's a search result. So I'm just making a new tweet now, finally looking at package JSON linting. This package seems promising. npm package lint JSON.org. Is what is the name of the fella, the person who made it? Thomas Linden. I wonder if that's Thomas Lindler? Is that a person? Uh, this person is verified, and that looks like maybe German. Historian postdoc, pastor, retired broadcast experience. Okay. Uh, maybe I should go to the GitHub and find this person's Twitter if it's on their profile. It is not. Sorry, Thomas. No tweeting for you. Okay. Anyway, going back to the description, it's a configurable linter that helps enforce standards for your package.json file. By default, no rules are enabled. If you'd like to use the rule set, please see the config defaults. Each rule has an ID, a node, a message, and a type. And there are a bunch of ways you can config it. Okay. So what are the rules? Oh boy. So you can require all sorts of fields. You can require that an author exists, a bin, a bugs, whatever. That's cool. Type rules generate an error if a node's value doesn't have the correct data type. All right, so there's just a whole bunch of rules here. It mentioned there's a config you can use. So there's install. I'll just do that real quick. Git checkout main, git pull, yarn add thing d, npm package JSON lint. There's a recommended. Nope. Config default. Oh, that's another package that doesn't come with it. Interesting. So I have to install this on its own. Yarn add thing d. And then in my npm package, it's rc.json. This name is a lot. At least it's a name that makes sense, not like Rhino or Java or whatever. Like random things that don't actually mean anything, and we only know what they mean because of cultural context. So in my JSON file, so I have added the dependency of this thing and its config defaults. And now I want a script, so I'm just going to add another lint one, lint package. What's the thing? Just run. I forget. I didn't read on the website how to actually run the thing, so let's see if this works real quick. Yarn lint package. By the way, everyone who just winced in pain, you are correct. I just said I didn't even read the thing. I'm just going to try it. Read the docs, folks. That's smart. Don't do what I did. CLI. Is that the name of it? That's the name of the script that it ships with. It's like weird camel case version of it. What did I do? Right here. And it needs a period. It's set in the docs to run in the current directory. All right. I'm running through this real fast. Wow. 0.2 seconds. This is written in Rust or something? That's speedy. What happens if I just like delete a whole bunch of stuff from my package? Like author and description and license and name. Okay. So name and version are required. That's cool. So, yay. I feel like I want more though. Like I want to enable required description. Like it feels weird to me that I removed the description and just nothing broke. Okay, so I added that back in. So required dash description is good. All right, so author description. I should probably also require the license. Is that by default? Complainy? It's not. If I add require license, yeah. Okay. Okay, that's great. That's all I needed here. Uh, passing CI. Let's package. What is this thing called? npm package JSON lints. Chore added lints package. Origin lints package. So if I, oh, you know what? I'm gonna amend that commit to remove the description from the package JSON. So this should fail CI because I have removed description and marked that in this new linter tool required description is true. It's issue number 32. This is 32. I'm like speed running these configs. Explicitly marks description and license as required because in my packages I want them. I'm basically always MIT license. I also just realized, where is the website? I don't actually think it asked to sort. I never actually sorted the packaged keys, so it doesn't fix 32. It starts on. It just makes sure that some things are required. Doesn't make sure package JSON is sorted though. Ooh, look at this. So this is this compliance check that I'd gotten before. And the PR compliance checks are complaining. How do they? Well, it's letting me know that I'm not marking an issue as fixes or resolves. I guess because I'm the project owner, it's letting me pass. I think I've never seen that in the settings. Anyway, let me tweet this PR. Someone respond. Oh no, that was me. Doesn't yet sort the fields, but it's a start. All right, let's go ahead and wait a second. I almost just did the same mistake from before. I got a passing CI even though in the files changed, I removed the description. I almost forgot to add a YAML workflow. Copying markdown to package YAML. Lints package, jobs package, lints package, added package YAML workflow. So this workflow should be added to the pull request, and once it finishes building, it should cause the builds to fail because I removed description, which should cause the rule to fail. Anyway, I see a couple of folks have trickled in, so hello, welcome to my thing. Thanks for watching. I'm just going through a template TypeScript node package that I made so that I can add as much pull request integration stuff to lints and test and whatever it is, as much as possible. So that later on I can use this same tooling in all my other apps. Feel free to ask any questions, chat, just say hi if you want. Let me know how your day is going. All right, good. Lit package is failing. Let's look at that failure. No description is required. Yay. So I'm going to go to package JSON and undo. Add back description. Boop. Man, it feels like my shell is so fast. It's nice. At any moment, 10 seconds or so from now, this will all hopefully be green. on, CI checks. Look at them. So many little checks running. 9 in total. So once I get package, field, remember, whatever, key sorting in, it'll be 10 checks. That's double digits. Yay. I'm in main. But package JSON, lint sorted keys. Sort package JSON? Ooh, ESLint plugin JSON C. ESLint plugin JSON C is ESLint plugin for JSON, JSON C, and JSON 5 files. I like this. Also, Odameshi, the URL. This rings a bell. Another promising package. I feel like I've done stuff that, or used packages made by that user before. Oh, I guess I could have tagged them on Twitter. Not well. Why is it an ESLint plugin? ESLint is a great linter for JavaScript. And yeah, fun fact, JSON is a subset of JavaScript. JSON is always valid JavaScript. Right, this is getting to be a lot of stuff. So I'm going to go to the user guide and I'm just going to get checkout be this fella. Yarn add thing /d. Then my ESLints. I'm going to extend from the package. It's part of the plugin package, whatever you want to call it. Yarnlints. Ooh. Nice. So it's got, before I go into those errors, recommended with JSON, recommended configuration for JSON, JSON C, JSON 5. I think packages are just JSON. I never use comments. I don't know what JSON 5 features are. Never got into that. All right. So that's working. However, working as in it runs, it says it doesn't complain about not being able to find stuff. But now it's complaining that parsing error, parser options.project has been set for TypeScript ESLint parser. The file does not match your project config, tsconfig JSON, package JSON, cspell JSON. Yes. What these are complaining about is the TypeScript ESLint recommended requiring type checking rules, which are ESLint rules that use the full power of TypeScript to lint your code. They crash if you try to run them on a file that TypeScript doesn't understand, a file that's not listed in your TypeScript program, your tsconfig, which means I'm going to have to disable, oh God, configuration mishaps. I don't want to extend this plugin for all files. I only want to extend it for JSON files. Let's see if that works. Oops. So only in JSON files do I extend the JSON C plugin. Nice. That passes. And what happens if I get things out of order? This should complain. No, it's not complaining. I want it to complain. What rules are enabled? Right. Disallow big ints literals. All right, so let me see if I add like a example of that. Valid package JSON and package JSON. Great. So if I go to another JSON file, let's say tsconfig. Should complain. Nope. Got a parsing error. Oh, right. Because tsconfig is used by TypeScript and TypeScript doesn't understand that. Oh my God. Maybe this is not a good example rule to try to break. Cspell. Oh. Nothing is complaining. What if I do star.json? Are you serious? What? I'm so confused. So what I'm getting is I'm trying to load TypeScript ESLint dot notation, which requires parser services, and I need to provide a value for parser options at project. But why is it trying to use type linting? Let's see spell. Very confused about this. All right. So if I remove, oh, interesting. So if I just add JSON files at all, then it complains that they are not understood by TypeScript. So what I should do is I should have these be overrides. I see what's happening. So if I say